My name is Dennis Groff, Division Chief with the City of Waukesha Fire Department, and today we want to talk to you about a serious medical condition that unfortunately affects a number of people in our community each year. It's called cardiac arrest. When somebody experiences cardiac arrest, their heart either stops beating or beats in an unorganized fashion, both of which are not sustainable with life, and seconds and minutes matter to try and correct the problem. Two potential solutions to this cardiac arrest issue are performing CPR and use of an AED. Now, we understand that these can be scary situations, and oftentimes we're caught off guard. But through knowledge and training, we know that the community can oftentimes step in and make a very positive impact on people's lives by doing CPR and using an AED before emergency responders arrive. So let's take a couple minutes here and teach you how to perform CPR and use an AED. Our friends at American Heart Association have shared with us that survivability oftentimes doubles or triples when bystander CPR is performed, as opposed to those who have no CPR performed prior to fire department arrival. And those are pretty significant numbers. Something else that American Heart has shared with us, and the Waukesha Fire Department strongly endorses, is hands-only CPR. With hands-only CPR, the focus is on doing compressions only and no longer emphasizing doing mouth-to-mouth ventilations. The technique of CPR is as follows. When we believe that somebody is suffering from a major medical event, our first priority is to determine their level of consciousness. If somebody's talking to us, moaning, or can be aroused when we shake them, CPR is not indicated. But after a person does not respond to our voice and we cannot shake them and elicit a response, CPR may be indicated. The second thing that we're going to look for is the person breathing? And an easy way to determine this is for me to get my eyes at the same plane as their chest to determine chest rise and chest fall. If I determine that they're not breathing and they're not conscious, CPR is indicated and 911 should be called. The technique of hands-only CPR is as follows. I first want to locate the center of their chest to find their sternum or the breastbone. And that's that large bone that goes from the base of their neck down to the top of their abdomen. Once I've located the sternum, I want to find the center of the chest and place the palm of one hand over the top of the sternum, place my second hand over the first hand, and begin chest compressions, putting all my energy down into the tops of my hands. I also want to make sure that my shoulders stay over the top of the patient to deliver the compressions most effectively. I'm going to compress at a rate of 100 to 120 beats per minute. And what this process is doing is it's effectively circulating blood in the absence of the heart being able to do its job. After you've initiated chest compressions with hands-only CPR, if anybody is nearby, ask for them to help, instruct them to call 911, and if an AED is nearby, have them bring the AED to the patient's side. AEDs are rather simplified and easy to use. As long as you can identify where the power button is, simply press the power button and you'll get a very clear set of instructions to follow.
Call for help now.
It'll advise to call for help if that hasn't been done already.
Clothing from patient's chest.
Remove all the clothing so that we can apply the pads to direct skin. Very important step. When we pull out the pads, we'll notice that there are pictures on the pads to give very specific instructions as to where the pads will be placed on the chest. He can begin to do that.
Look at pictures on pads. Peel one pad off blue plastic. Apply pad to bare skin, exactly as shown in the picture.
Once the pads have been applied, the machine, the AED, will sense that pads have been placed and it'll go into an analyze mode.
Do not touch patient.
It'll advise not to touch the patient.
Evaluating heart rhythm.
And it'll take up to 10 seconds to determine whether or not a shock is advised. If a shock is advised, the machine will start to alarm and you'll see a red flashing light. Before you press the red flashing light to shock the patient,
press flashing button.
Make sure everybody is clear because they too can get shocked if you don't clear them beforehand.
Everybody clear?
Clear?
Shock delivered.
Once the shock is delivered,
Chest compressions and rescue breath.
it's safe to come back and resume CPR. The machine, the AED, is programmed to go in a 2-minute interval. Every 2 minutes, it'll assess whether or not a shock is advised or not advised. This process will continue until emergency responders arrive and they can take over care. With that, we've learned the technique of how to deliver CPR and use an AED. Two last pieces of information to share. One, the City of Waukesha recently became a Pulse Point community. Pulse Point is an app that you can download, and should you need an AED, you can readily identify locations of AEDs throughout the city. Lastly, the fire department will be at the farmers market and a number of other community events throughout the year. If you see us, stop by, say hi, and let's train together. Although we hope that cardiac arrest never happened, some confidence and some preparation can surely make a positive impact on people's lives through initiation of CPR. Stay safe, Waukesha.